All right, good morning. So I'm heading to work. This is probably, I guess this will be like the first sort of free-form video. First two were kind of an introduction. Nobody knows about the videos yet. One person I told about the name of the channel, so they may have peeked in. I'm guessing not. But in any case, so I'm just heading to work. I don't feel at the moment particularly burdened. Maybe that's a topic that I can talk about. This whole recording myself thing started with just audio recordings on my phone because I was working through a lot of stuff, as I'd mentioned before, and I feel I don't know really what's at work, but I know that as I was able to talk to myself and ask the questions, that behaviors and sort of compulsions around the situation, which is sort of the dissolution, I don't know, how do you want to say it, but friendship kind of falling apart, a lot of it because of me, and circumstances in general, but I found that as I progressed without sort of forcing it, in other words, without setting goals or making a judgment about this is good and this is bad, and I have to stop this. It wasn't anything about that. It was just getting it out there, shifted something in the energy, rerouted circuits inside of me, and I just found that things that used to give me certain satisfaction or consolation, I no longer needed them. So that's been absolutely brilliant. I didn't spend a dime. Not that much time has even passed. But so anyway, I feel very, very, very grateful for this ability to talk to myself like a crazy person. I'm grateful nowadays too that you can kind of do that even in public. Maybe I'll get like a little dummy earpiece or something, and I can just wander around Target or wherever I am, just blah blah blah, yammering on to myself. Anyway, it's kind of fun, and there are times when I've been on the phone, legitimately, like say on the bus, and I can maybe have a little bit of a colorful conversation, and I think it's funny when people overhear it, and I wonder what they're thinking. But okay, so there's that. Yesterday was my birthday. My mom took me out to dinner. That was nice. We hung out, had a beer at my favorite place of late, which is Cafe Stritch. She'd never been there, and so I wanted her to have an experience, see if she likes it as much as I do. I think she liked it. They've got little tiny desserts, which are really cool. They've got bourbon pecan pie, which is about as big around as a silver dollar. And actually, for one order, you get a couple of them. Or they have creme brulee that's actually torched right in a little, like a Chinese ceramic soup spoon. So just, 2, 3, or 4 little bites. And raspberry cheesecake, which was amazing. Really unique, really good, really dense, but totally different from any other cheesecake I'd ever had. I don't know if they put butter in it, or I don't know exactly what it was. It was rich. It was really nice. And so, that was a nice time. I think she really wanted to do that, and I didn't have a whole lot else going on. And so, but afterwards I was a little bit restless. I was like, should I go home and go to sleep? Should I... I was like, it's a weeknight. I don't see anybody really whipping up much of a scene. Although there are a fair number of people out. But, so, I was like, well, I'll make a few rounds. I'll drive this way. I'll drive that. If I see what's going on, whatever place looks most interesting, I'll stop in. Because for me, as I'm kind of a tentative drinker. And the worst thing is getting stuck in a scene that isn't really going anywhere, and you kind of half drunk, and what I mean by that is no one wants to talk. You know, people get locked into their little cliques, and I saw a little bit of that last night. Kind of got disgusted. But anyhow, there was enough other interesting stuff happening to make it fun. Just barely. So I ended up at this place called Jack's. My friend Stephanie at Recycle Books had recommended a long time ago. I don't know if she recommended. She's like, yeah, we go to this place. It's pretty cool. So, and I'd gone one time, and there was like a bouncer and maybe the bartender standing outside smoking. And I walked in, and there was literally nobody else there. So this time I gave it another chance, and it was fun. There were people dancing right away when I walked in. That's always a good sign. Tiny little place. Like, this is the one-room schoolhouse equivalent, more or less. You know, bar on the left, some tall tables on the right, 5 fucking televisions. Why? I have no idea. No one was paying attention. I don't like TVs in bars, personally. I like more of an old-school pub feel. But, I wrote a little story about it. Maybe I'd be better off just reading it rather than trying to recap it. I don't know. Maybe I'll try. And, you know, the thought occurred to me yesterday that there's something intrinsically boring about this. And yeah, if it's like heavy emotional stuff that I'm working through, and that's good. But I certainly don't want this thing to become like a travelogue of my nights out or whatever. I mean, occasionally they can be really exciting, but I figured maybe this is a way to wade into the more mundane or everyday material. But again, you know, the boringness of this, I think, will spur me to be less boring in my real life. Or I don't think that I'm necessarily boring, but I don't know, maybe to take a few more risks here and there. But so I'm there, sort of hanging out, and this is what I like to say in bars sometimes, is I'll just say, well, do you have a signature drink? Like, what do you make? Like, what do you like to make? And so this time she said, she goes, well, it depends on what you feel like drinking. So I said, how about rum? Because I was trying to find cachaça, the Brazilian sort of white rum stuff, which I did find, but only at a little Brazilian place I could have gone to had I not been on my way to the bookstore to see if I could find any friends that wanted to go out and have a drink. And so I thought, well, I'll take a rum drink. So she made me this rum drink. It was really good. I don't know, it was kind of punchy, kind of cherry, like a cherry punchy kind of flavor. It was really nice. I started drinking, took a few sips, and then she goes, oh, I forgot to put one ingredient in. So here she was pouring other stuff on top. And I'm like, what is that? She goes, oh, Bacardi 151. All right, okay. We'll see what happens tonight. So, drank that, and she goes, oh, and I said, oh, you must have known it was my birthday. Oh, it's your birthday. You want a shot? Okay. So here she comes after a while. Shot for her, shot for the bouncer, big shot for me. Down the hatch. Oddly enough, it didn't do that much. Maybe it's because I had a French dip. You know, my body isn't used to eating so heavy. And it was like maybe drinking, you know, a beer. It felt like, you know, something like that. But even after my rum drink, which, by the way, she called Walk the Plank. So what happened? Sort of chit-chatted with people on my left. I'm kind of sitting on the corner. Guy on the right strikes up a conversation. His name was Scott. He works for Uber. Moved out here from Northern Virginia a year ago. Doesn't really know San Jose too well. Has a few places that he likes to go check out from time to time. Kind of doing the grind, but an interesting enough guy. And I was at a certain point, which has been coming up in conversation lately. Told him about Cafe Stritch. After a little while, I was like, hey, well, you want to go get an Uber car and go over there? And lo and behold, he's got like not unlimited, but basically more Uber rides for free as an employee. He actually works at the headquarters doing some IT shit. At the satellite office in San Jose, not in the big one in San Francisco. But so here we go. Rides on him. We show up. A little bit going on here and there. So it was fun. Wasn't a lot. I mean, I think probably if he hadn't been there, I would have mingled a little bit more, but I think he just wanted to kind of chat. So I tried to bum cigarettes, say hi to people or whatever. And that was all right. And then after a while, he decided to split, so we got a car. I decided, I'll go check out Jack's, because I was parked there, and we'd had a beer there too, which was really good. It's called Idiot IPA, something like that. Great, did its job. I became an idiot, and not really. But, so, that was fun. But I knew I kind of needed to sober up because I was parked over at Jack's. So I went back into Jack's, was hanging out. It was kind of funny. Rena, the bartender, had been kind of drinking all this time. And otherwise the scene was kind of... People were there on a Wednesday night, so that was cool. Party of 4 people showed up off from work dressed as servers. And they just proceeded to get these drinks and started just talking shit about people at work. And I thought, man, is this what people do? It's like you go out to have a good time, and what? You don't even want to forget the day. You don't even want to be kind and have fun and make friends. They just go in their little circle. And I tried to kind of have fun with them for a minute, and I could see they weren't even playing. So, fortunately, Rena knew what to do, and when one of them ordered a sweet shot, she started basically shouting, "Pussy! Pussy!" And anyhow, that was funny, and she was a lot of fun. It's not every day you get to see somebody get drunk at work, and she wasn't. I wouldn't say she was drinking that heavily, but she was having a good time and had some funny stories and interesting things to say. Let's see, what's an example here? What's a good example from Rena? Okay, so she's like, so I was in here one night and there's 4 guys and they're looking at me and kind of whispering, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we just got to ask you this question. And she's like, what? Are you that porn star that we saw? And she's like, no. My pussy is not hamburger, okay? And my ass is an exit for shit, and that's all right? I'm an angelic person. Oh, man. And my pussy's tight, too. Yeah, that was the other part. And so that was a good story. And anyway, she was just kind of ranting and raving, making the drinks, and having fun. So she was sort of like my entertainment. And she was very kindly refilling at that point I was drinking club soda with bitters and just a little Sprite on top for sweetness. And that was my drink, and you know what? That shit, I wasn't feeling like a hangover coming on. I wasn't really coming down I was not crashing or anything. It was not unpleasant, but actually right now, being the next morning after having maybe 4 hours of sleep, I feel good. I feel pretty clear. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes the night drinking is like therapeutic somehow. Not all the time. At East Jesus, I was fucked up. It was, the whole day it was 97 degrees under the desert sun. Kept my head covered in shit, but just could not get my shit together till I got into the canal. But anyhow, I can talk about bullshit forever. I don't really want to do that. I don't know if I'm going to try to... Well, I'm not going to plan anything either, because that's not the point of this. The point of this is just to keep shit moving through me, keep the thoughts going out, and the part about posting it is just an experiment because for some reason recording feels like almost like a justification somehow. It sort of anchors the thoughts, and then posting it is just another level. And also because I want to sort of jump out of my I call it my my gigapet self on Facebook and shit. I think I mentioned that I dumped all my friends and was trying to reinvent it, and so this is a way to bring more of my true self out there to cyberspace. So that excuse me, it's just not so cardboard. All right, so I'm going to end that for now. I'm going to call that one video. I might start another one, sort of a little more topical, but I'm not really sure. That's, you know why? The reason I'm not sure is because although I aspire to do some pretty naked sharing, I'm not sure how ready I am. So, and also I want the videos to be a little bit short. So I'm going to cut this, and yeah, I will come back and I'll share a little bit more, and about how my recording sort of where they landed me as far as this difficult emotional time that I was having. Okay, so thank you.